Ken is walking towards the school as he thinks about Momo and wonders if she will still consider him a friend or not. As in the school, she is called a certified baddie, while he is looked down upon like a pathetic loser with negative riz. He eventually arrives at the school gate, where Momo is waiting outside just for him. But Ken, who is feeling extremely negative today, doesn't realize this and decides to ignore her, so he won't get embarrassed once she turns him down. He simply walks past her, but Momo, who thought that he will stop by, chases after him as she asks him how his PP is doing. Ken, who is feeling extremely negative, suddenly feels that everything has become colorful, becomes cheerful once again, and starts his cheerful conversation about his depressive life. Unfortunately, their classes are different, so they are only able to talk for a while, as they are forced to be separated as they walk towards their respective classes. Ken walks into the class feeling extremely positive, and even when others try to bully him, he still remains happy and cheerful as he has just gotten a wonderful friend in the shape of Momo. He opens his alien conspiracy books and starts reading them while thinking about how badly he wants to talk to Momo about ghosts and stuff. On the other side, Momo is feeling the same, as she also wants to talk to Ken about aliens and stuff, as there is so much that she needs to know. She wants to know what they like to eat and how they reproduce and so on and on. After waiting for a few hours, it's finally lunchtime, which makes our impatient duo even more impatient as they rush towards each other's classes. They pass through a crowd of students, but barely miss each other. Momo arrives at Ken's class, but doesn't find him there as no one knows him by his name, but by his nerdy looks. On the other hand, Ken suffers from the same treatment as he gets harassed and is forced to run away. Afterwards, Ken doesn't find her anywhere. Momo is the same, as she is also unable to find him anywhere as well, which makes them both depressed. It's as if the god doesn't want our boy Ken to go any holes, which is why they keep on missing each other. In the end, they are both tired of searching for each other and come to rest on the bench outside. Coincidentally, they both sit right next to each other, but unfortunately there is a wall between them which causes both of them to miss each other once again. They both sulk as they feel awkward and can't help, but think that they might not like each other, so that's why they are avoiding each other. Soon, the lunchtime is over, so they are about to head back when they both accidentally bump into each other as their lips touch, causing them to accidentally kiss each other. If things were not already awkward enough, this is seen by Momo's friends, who decide to snitch on her to the whole class. This activates both of their defensive mechanisms as they start talking shit about each other, so Momo's friends won't spread any nasty rumors about her. Ken decides to leave the convo and heads to the bathroom, where he realizes that his balls are missing. He becomes shocked and immediately runs off to tell Momo, but she doesn't talk to him at all and doesn't listen to any of his words. This leads to another fight between them, but they both start feeling guilty, so Ken leaves first, as he believes that Momo perhaps hates him now. Momo also feels bad, but she doesn't stop him and let him leave, as just now he was being a jerk to her. Meanwhile, Ken is also feeling sad and is about to head home when he bumps into a girl named Aira. The girl starts flirting with him, which makes Ken blush, as he has never truly felt the touch of the opposite gender, just like most of our viewers. Momo, who happens to be passing by, watches them flirt with each other and wonders if they are friends with benefits. But later she overhears Aira mentioning how fun it is to tease virgin boys who have never felt the touch from a pretty girl like her. Her friends even support her in her acts, which makes Momo angry. So she decides to take revenge for our boy Ken. She uses her psychic powers to control the metal bowl and drop it on Aira's head, which makes her plummet under its weight, definitely making her lose the last of her few remaining brain cells. While passing by nonchalantly, Momo mentions Ken's glasses and praises his handsomeness, which is a total lie. But she does this just to piss off Aira and her friends, who feel like they are some big shots or something. After leaving school, Momo is about to start her yapping session when Ken mentions that his balls are missing. Momo is flabbergasted and immediately takes him home, where she can't stop laughing because how hilarious this situation truly is. Granny Seiko asks her to not laugh at the poor boy who has lost his balls, as she remarks that Ken has some negative aura in his body, which they must push out to see what's the cause behind his missing balls. So she starts a ritual which involves slapping out the negative aura from Ken into the doll in front of them. Momo uses her powers to pull out the negative aura, which turns out to be none other than the Turbo Granny. After escaping, she is captured by the little cat plushie and starts running away from this dangerous trio in order to save her life. But Momo is easily able to capture her using her psychic powers and have her reveal that she is the reason behind Ken's missing balls. Turbo Granny is arrogant at first and uses Ken's balls to prove her dominance over them. But when she learns that her powers are still within Ken's body, she realizes that if something happens to him, she will die as well. So she has no choice but to tell them the truth that she dropped them somewhere on the way. She further explains that his balls have extremely potent life force, which attracts different ghosts and spirits to hunt for them. Momo and Ken beat her up for messing things up, as they don't even know what to search for. It's only then Turbo informs them that his balls are like shiny golden balls about 5 centimeters in radius. The following morning, Ken walks into his classroom when he is stopped by one of his classmates who asks him if he is dating Momo. They also ask if he has done it with her, since the rumors suggest that she let anyone lose their V card to her if they ask her politely. Ken becomes angry as he transforms into his Turbo Granny form and asks them who spread these rumors. After they explain that they aren't the ones who spread those rumors, Ken finally calms down and heads back to his desk, where he opens his backpack to grab his books, but realizes that Turbo Granny has snuck into his backpack when he wasn't paying attention. Realizing this, he immediately runs outside, where he bumps into Momo, which causes the Turbo Granny to escape as they chase after it. Aira, on the other hand, who has obtained his golden ball, awakens her spiritual sight. With that, she is able to see Momo using her spiritual powers and accidentally mistakes her to be a demon. This is why she started spreading those nasty rumors about her. But when they didn't work, she decided to just perform an exorcism to eliminate the demon inside Momo. Therefore, she requests her friends to bring up some stuff, which includes a copy of the Bible and a cross with smelly oil all over it. While she is checking out the stuff, her gaze falls outside, where she finds a lady spirit in a red dress. She believes the spirit to be Momo's demon pet, making her even more sure of Momo being a demon herself, or at least being possessed by one. On the other hand, Momo and Ken are having lunch on the school rooftop when Turbo Granny informs them that a student has already acquired his balls, and that she will tell them when she finds that student once again. After school, Momo and Ken are about to head back home when Aira stops them and asks Momo to come to a nearby location for a personal talk. Momo doesn't see any harm in this and decides to follow her, and only after they have left does the Turbo Granny inform Ken that it is actually Aira who has his golden ball. Meanwhile, Momo, who is not suspecting anything, gets caught off guard by Aira and her friends, who hold her down and ties her hand, so she won't be able to use her spiritual power. However, Momo is able to use the last bit of her time to slam the girls aside. But she is still in deep trouble, as Aira keeps on yapping about her being a demon and how the gods have guaranteed her this mythical golden ball, not because she is the chosen one, but that she's extremely pretty and elegant and so demure. Just then, Ken and Turbo Granny also arrive at the scene, as they are being chased by the weird lady ghost spirit. Ken tries using his Turbo Granny form to fight the ghost lady, but his attacks are futile as he gets eaten by the ghost lady in one gulp. The ghost lady is called Acrobatic Silky, who is here after Aira, whom she considers to be her daughter. Aira, however, doesn't know her, so the Acrobatic Silky reminds her that she accidentally called her mommy 10 years ago, which made her extremely happy, and ever since that day, she has been waiting for her to be able to see her. But their conversation is cut short when Aira calls her nothing but a monster, which makes the acrobatic Silky extremely angry that she immediately swallows her into her stomach as well. Now that only Momo is left, who is still tied up, the acrobatic Silky decides to use her to vent out her frustration. After beating her up, the acrobatic Silky swallows her as well, and that's when she realizes that before getting swallowed, Momo burned a portion of her hair with the lighter that was inside the cross. So the acrobatic Silky suffers from the consequences as she gets cooked in the literal sense, while spewing everyone out. After getting spewed out, the group is fighting with each other over the fact whose fault it was, when the acrobatic Silky, who was supposed to be burned into ashes, comes alive, or rather stands back in one piece while looking even more powerful than before. This causes our ghost hunting group to stand up once more as they brace themselves for the upcoming counterattack.